In this recording, I'm going to show you how to download the Google Drive file stream so that you can save your Zoom recordings, since the Zoom cloud storage isn't big enough to hold all of the files that we have people using in the county. So the first thing you'll want to do is start with the email that I sent out yesterday called Zoom Cloud Storage Capacity. In that email, go ahead and click on the first link. And we need that link because that contains the link to download the Google Drive file stream. So if you just click on it, it'll give you the option to then go to the actual hyperlink website. And then just scroll down to the Windows section under Step 5 and click Download Now. And then you should see it downloading if you're using Google on the bottom left of your downloads bar. Okay, and then once it's downloaded, you can just double click on it, and we're going to go ahead and set it up. And then you'll get a pop-up about if you want to add an application shortcut to your desktop, or if you want to add other shortcuts. In the directions that were included in the email, they have both checked, but it's okay if you don't want to check them. I would advise you to check the first one, and that'll just give you a shortcut on your desktop to Google File Stream. The second one is optional, but if you'll have your own shortcuts to Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides, and I'll just leave that selected for now. Then choose Install. And then once you have a successful download message, you can click Close. Okay, so now that it's been downloaded, it may ask you to sign into the portal to verify your Gwinnett County Zoom account. Mine may not be asking me that because I've actually downloaded this a few times before. So if you're prompted, you're going to put in your first name _ last name at g.gcpsk12.org. And then after that, it'll take you to the portal to sign in. Like I said, mine did do that the first time, but since I have downloaded this in the past, that's probably why I'm not receiving those prompts. So once you've done that, you can minimize your window, and we're going to actually open up Zoom by going through our desktop application. So I'm going to open up Zoom on my desktop. And you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, if you hover, you'll see your first letter of your first name. But this is that email address. It's linked to your Gwinnett County Google email address that you just entered a few minutes ago. Okay, I'm going to go back to my home so that you can see the gear icon. So make sure you're on your home page, and then you'll see the gear icon in the top right, your settings icon. Click on that. And then on the far left side, you want to choose recordings. So right now, you are setting the destination of where you want your recordings to go. Before I did my video, I made a folder in my Google Drive, and this is what you'll want to do as well. And I'll just show you mine really quickly. So I just made a folder called Zoom Recordings. And when I go back to that step in the directions to choose the destination where my recordings will go, I'm going to send it to this folder that I made in my Google Drive. If you haven't made a folder before, all you do is come to your white space in your drive and just right-click anywhere in the white space, and you have the option to make a new folder. And so I would strongly advise that you make a folder for your Zoom recordings so that you're not searching for them. Okay, so now we'll go back to our Zoom screen. So once it's on recording, come up to the top where it says local recording, And you're going to need to change yours. Now, once again, because I have downloaded this program before, mine is already set to go to my drive and Zoom recordings. Yours probably won't say that. So you're going to choose change. And once this comes up, you may have to select your PC. Mine is already pre-selected though. But let me go back to what you might see. Okay, so notice how my PC arrow was pointing down. If yours is not, you're going to want to make it point down by clicking on it. And then after that, you'll just find the Google file stream and click on that to make the arrow go down. And now these are all the folders in your Google Drive. And so of course it starts with a Z, so it's the very last folder in my Google Drive. And so choose that one and then select OK. Once you do that, I'm clicking cancel because mine is already set, but you need to click OK. So then you'll see that all of your recordings that you make in Zoom will now go to your Google Drive into that folder that you made called Zoom Recordings. And now you're almost finished. So now you can just close this screen out. And so when you make a recording, and I'll go in, I'll just show you. So you can go in through the icon, but you can actually still go in through your portal page as well. And so what happens is when it's time for you to go to your recordings, I'll show you how that will look. So really quickly, if I go to meetings, and then if I go to recorded, even though I'm not going to pull them from here, I just want to show you that even if you record by going through the portal or by going through this desktop application, they're still going to get uploaded to your Google Drive. So the one I made yesterday, even though I went in through the Zoom icon here, and it uploaded right to my Google Drive. This is one I did earlier today, and I went in through the portal, but it still goes to my Google Drive. So whether I'm here or here, it doesn't matter. It's going to go to your Google Drive, and I'm going to show you how to make sure that that happens. So let me close this out. So when you open up Zoom, and let's just go to new meeting. So if you're recording this meeting, when you go to your record option, click on record and just make sure, let me stop for a second, sorry. Okay, and I've already selected it, so unfortunately you don't see the two options, but when you click on record, you'll have two options, record to this computer or record to the cloud. Make sure that you're choosing record to this computer. Because I've already selected it, I don't have those options because I selected it yesterday. The same goes for when I go into Zoom through the portal, if you choose to do that. So let me show you that quickly. So if I go into the portal, and I go to sign in, and I'm just going to quickly go to host a meeting so you can see what it looks like. Okay, and this one looks a little bit different, but because I'm choosing to record my screen, I have to come over to the More section to look at my recording options. So once again, I have to choose record on this computer. So we no longer want to choose record to the cloud because that's what's getting full. So we all need to choose record to our computer, and then it's automatically going into your Google Drive. Stop sharing. And I'm going to do that one more time, and I'll just pretend this time like I'm doing an actual live session or something. Okay, so here's that same record button. And this time when I click it, you do see the two options that I was referring or talking about earlier. And so once again, I just have to choose record on this computer. So as long as I'm choosing that, once I'm done with all of my recordings, and I'll go ahead and choose it because you probably saw that message earlier when it told me it was converting my video. So once you're done, you hit stop like you normally would, and it's already telling me that it's converting this file to an MP4. And it's doing that because it's getting ready to send it right into my Google Drive. And then I'm going to see another pop-up here telling me that it's converting it. And I'm just going, well, I would click stop, but it came up so quickly. So now if I go back to my Google Drive, and first it's showing you where it's going on your computer. But when I go to my Google Drive now and I click on my Zoom recordings folder, I have all of these different recordings. And they're timestamped. So this is one from yesterday that I did. And these are 3 from today. When you open it up, you are going to see 3 different files in it. 2 were kind of the audio files, and you really don't need those. So really just focus on the one that says MP4. And you can right-click on it to rename it, which I would suggest, or you can rename the folder. So here I could just rename the folder if I wanted to instead and call that maybe sample meeting or 4th grade meeting. And that way when I open it up, I know what it is. And this would be the link that you could share out on your eClass page, or if you needed to send it to a parent. So if you're going to share it out as a link, when you choose Get Shareable Link, or if you choose Share, just make sure you always choose the option that allows anyone with the link to view it. So if it says restricted, go ahead and change that by clicking the drop-down arrow beside it. And always choose anyone with the link can view, and that way as long as your students are going to it through your eClass page, when they click on the video, it'll load right up for them. So click Done. And so then you could give them that link and you could put it on your eClass page. And that's it.